Hey, how's it going today? It's Frank here, and welcome to Wild Wednesdays again. And yeah, I'm back with another action movie, obviously. And this movie wasn't that bad, to be honest. It was pretty decent, despite the acting being quite not up to standard. But I kind of thought it was okay, because some of the other movies I've been seeing recently, I mean, it's nice and refreshing to have a movie that isn't that best acted, but actually was quite decent in terms of storyline and some of the action involved. The movie is called Kill Plan. It's about this CIA agent that gets thrown in deception, and he has to stop some sort of like deadly drug going to destroy humanity, again unleashed to destroy humanity, if I put it that way. You know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean. It starts off, action packed, bit of a, gunfight between the agents, with Nash, and there's like, not Nash, Nash, I know, when I saw the name, I was like, there's no way someone could be called Nash, but that is a name, so don't be thinking Nash, not that one. That's okay, I'll stop anyway. But yeah, it's sure they're having a shoot off with I don't know what these the enemies, I know what you call them. And yeah, and then you have the Winston character, and you have who's that one, Dexter, and they're both working together. I'm going to be giving out spoilers anyway, it's fairly obvious. And they're meant to be the character double crossed Nash, and all because Nash got rewarded and he didn't, type of thing. That's why he's double crossed him. You see Winston at the start when he gets shot, but I think that was all just part of the plan to make it look like that he was against them when he wasn't. And he was actually working for them. He was actually working for the Wang clan, and you get to see the Wang boss, who's pretty cool. I've got to say, he's one of the coolest bosses I've ever seen in any sort of movie. But again, the way he acted it, the boss you would think should be a bit more less ridiculous in terms of the way he acted, but it made him pretty cool, I guess. And you see them, Winston and the Dex is obviously they double cross them basically, and they go kill, and they kill a member of the Wang. I'm not going to do it in order, by the way. It's not how I intended it to go, but yeah, I'm going to continue with it anyway. They kill someone called Schwam or something like that, or Sham. I don't know what this guy's name is in the hospital. It's they double cross him basically, and they're working for the Wang clan. The Wang clan's working for some sort of some terror group or something like that, and just simply because it's a large shipment, is what Sylvia told Nash, giving him information about a shipment coming in. Nash also has this partner called Mara that works with him, and yeah, basically, and this Wang clan sort of kidnaps, Brenda, Nash's sister. I'm not going to get to that sort of part of the dialogue. There's not really much happening in that. And yeah, so there's a few odd romantic scenes. I'm not going to get into them, it's quite dull. And also the other characters you come across, I think it's the other part of the Wang clans that come in, and there's also a fight off in the bar. They set because Winston told the Wang boss that he's going to be hanging out in the bar, so they can take him out and get rid of him. Yeah, so there's a bit that happens in this movie. There's a bit of detail in a movie like this, so I'm quite impressed. An hour and 11-minute movie, but with so much detail, and I didn't even mean to actually just go far ahead in the story, but it actually is really good. The fight scenes is one that at the club, but you could say it looks a bit ridiculous. The sound effect could have been a bit better. The reaction after the fight could have been a bit better, but I can enjoy that. And the fight between who was that, Nash and Dexter, that's pretty cool. The fight scene between him and Winston at the end, and the fight between him and the Wang boss, which was quite impressive. You also have Mo and Silver fight him too. Silver, who unfortunately gets shot by the boss. I didn't expect that, by the way. With the amount of deception in this movie, I was thinking there's Mara in on it too. It's that sort of movie. And it just ended with him and Mara holding hands, which to me I found it a bit interesting, because I was expecting a bit more of a different kind of ending sort of movies. It could have ended a bit more differently than just doing that. But yeah, I've got to say, this movie was quite impressive in terms of storyline. I had to give it as quick as I can. They also, and also with the drug, it was also created by someone called Dina Son or something like that. And originally I think was it Nash and the other agents were just talking about to interview Dean as like assistant or someone who's also behind it, and Winston and Dexter wanted to secretly just interview him without the cameras being on, just so they can get more information. So yeah, I was if I miss anything out, I apologize, because there's a lot of information in this movie, and that's what I like about it. Detail. A movie this short, having a lot of detail in it, it's quite refreshing. I expected an hour and a 30-minute movie to be a bit more detailed. This is it. And yeah, this movie sounded good. The picture is good, so I thought I had to watch it, and it actually didn't disappoint. I wouldn't say the part of the movie where you find out Winston Dexter and then it is a twist, because I can't really figure that they were banned. It's just the way they were behaving, their body language, the way they were talking. They were already coming across as suspicious, and especially when you see Winston coming in and sort of talking to the boss. I just knew that was coming, but I was still got blown away. But I was like, oh wait, because I originally thought they were double crossing. That's what took me by surprise. I thought they were double crossing the the Wang clan, as they call it in the movie. I thought double crossing them so they can get hands on the job, so they can get rich. But they were actually working with them. It would have been so much better if they actually was against them too, which would have been way more crazier in the storyline. But I kind of enjoyed it. The fight scenes weren't too bad, I guess you could say. What else I can say in this sort of movie, apart from it wasn't actually too bad. I think it was someone called Gregory Hatanika or something like that. I don't know if I'm butchering the surname, I do apologise. But it's quite refreshing. I know there's a writer I got to try. I'll hashtag the names in anyway. But well done. It's not a bad movie. I've seen movies that are not really bad acting, but really poor. And also, it is an action movie. They did have action in it. The storyline was good. The tension was also good. Don't know about some of the music choices. I don't really talk about the music that much, but don't know about some of the choices in there. The characters weren't bad. The way they delivered their lines, I wasn't quite feeling their characters. Almost like they played the wrong characters. I don't know. It's almost like they're not really feeling the type of characters. Like the energy was not there. I think Nash is the only one that was actually portraying his character properly, being like the main, is it the CIA character, CIA boss? I'm gonna say boss, but the main CIA character. But the enemies, on the other hand, was okay, I guess. Not really nothing special, but other than that, it was a pretty fairly decent movie. And if I missed anything out, I do apologise. I think I mentioned the whole movie. I'll be perfectly honest. I think I mentioned the whole movie there. You can watch it for yourself. You can let me know. And I was going to do a Terror Tuesdays, yesterday, but I was, with my daughter because it was her, birthday yesterday. She's 1 year old, so yeah, and happy birthday to, even though it was yesterday, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I was going to do that, video yesterday, but then after I came back from, my daughter, seeing my daughter after her birthday, I was also watching Married at First Sight. I am back on watching that show. I don't know why I took a break from watching it, because it's actually a really good show. I saw it in the Terror Tuesdays. I would have done if I wasn't watching that show, but I'll do one next Tuesday. That's if, I don't know, it depends what my plans are next week anyway. But I had to do a wild one, since I have to do a movie. I was going to do a random movie Mondays. Decided not to, so I think because I was also watching that show anyway. But yeah, listen, here's what it is. So I'll still keep up with the movies. It actually makes it easier to do these themes, because then it makes it easier and gives me a break from, it's less pressure for me to put on a movie nearly every day. And besides, with no football being on, with no Premier League, it makes it easier for me to watch movies, I guess you could say, and easier for me to make more content like that. It makes less pressure for me. But that's all I wanted to say. That's my reason right there. Surprisingly, this video ain't that long for a movie like this. I know I'm stalling, I know. But yeah, please let me know if I missed out any details. I did put on I did manage to talk about the whole movie. I had to put this movie on as well, because obviously I felt a bit bored too. That's what it is when you're making content in my position. You do feel a bit bored and you need to watch you need to watch a movie or do game or whatever your content is, you need to do something, because this keeps me occupied. It gives me something to do. And the next one will be for Funny Fridays. I'll figure out what movie to watch. I'll probably just look it now and after this video and see what movie to watch next. But yeah, rating. I'll give it a 7. I thought that's the only number that I can give a movie like this. It's not really an average movie. There was fight scenes in it, as an action movie should have. The fight scenes wasn't cliche and silly. The actors weren't really acting silly apart from the boss. You could say the acting could have been slightly better, and that's what makes a rating not high as it should be. Even at the start, they're not portraying the characters that they should be, and they're not. I did drama back in school and partly of college, the first year of college. Acting is quite difficult because you have to make sure you actually play the character properly. You got to get into that rhythm of playing the character. You got to portray. You got to actually mean it. You got to want to play the character more. You got to be enthusiastic. You can't just be going into it being like yeah, but you can't just be if you're pretending to be a villain. You can't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna destroy all these people right here. You can't be. You got to really put some energy to it. You got to really act like you're that character. And what this movie has shown me is that that's probably the reason for poor acting out there. And I keep forgetting that also you do need to actually play the character too. It's not just like poorly acting and stuff. Other things play a part too. Like I said in my other videos when I spoke about bad movies. But this is one of the reasons too that I should really remember, is that it could be quite difficult to play the character you've been told to play, because you have to make sure you get it right. It doesn't have to be that perfect, but you actually really got to make sure you're in that rhythm and in that mindset and that mind frame to do it. So yeah, that's all I want to say. But like I said, if the acting was better, everything else was good, but this movie's decent. I wouldn't rate it that high. I think 7 is okay. It's enough for me. It's kind of similar to was it Interview with a Hitman. I wouldn't say in terms of like the acting and the action was a bit more quick in this one, but Interview with a Hitman was kind of like you could say it was a bit slow on things. Just like the acting here was a bit slow. I find that kind of I know it's a bit of a different kind of action movies, but I'm just trying to compare it to another movie, something else. Also not the best acted, and it was slow, but yeah, it's kind of similar in terms of that, yeah. So I don't want to rant on too much. I think that's it for this video. 7 out of 10 is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification below. So see you in the next video.